to be where my feet are. That's where I'm at. So Lil Left's birthday, he's 3 now. It's crazy to see him as they get older, they become more talkative and they start looking like you and they start doing stuff that you do that you don't think they pick up. You're like, what are you doing? And then the craziest thing is when they start telling you no. And you're like, what do you mean no? You can't tell me no. You know, you get that whole it's like, oh, you think for yourself. I didn't, you know. I'm used to
that 2 to 3 year old range. That's when no becomes very prevalent. Now, see, this is going to be this is how my grandfather used to say, son, keep your mind with you at all times. So literally left. We just did the first 5 minutes of the show. We weren't even live. That's how messed up I am, bro. That's how messed up my mind is. Like literally, I shot the open, bro. I'm sorry. I got to do this over again, bro. I got to. We got to start over. Fans, I apologize, man. It was a great 5 minutes.
That's a great 5 minutes.
Lucky Lefty Podcast. What's up, everybody? Hope you had a fantastic weekend. ONORA boys in the building. The original Lucky Lefty. Yeah, MALIK, ZAIRE. I am Shaun Davis, SD2 mics. Brought to you by ONORA Whiskey on Bleav Network, Apple Podcast, Spotify. Go lock in on the audio side and presented by FanDuel. Go over to FanDuel, download the FanDuel app, FanDuel.com. Notre Dame invades Southern Florida, August 31st. Prime time, smack around the Canes. Minus 2.5. We don't need more than 2.5.
We don't. No, we don't.
By drinking some ONORA. And if you drink, make sure you do it
responsibly.
Let's get it left. Lucky Lefty Podcast. ONORA boys in the building. MALIK, ZAIRE, Shaun Davis. Subscribe on YouTube. Hit that thumbs up. It helps with the views. Leave your comments, questions. We respond to all. We had 2 polls last week that we'll get to towards the end of the show. Lots of responses. You guys were locked in. I'm going to tell you about the results that Fighting Irish fans, as smart as they are, were totally right about before the season last year, and we'll cover the polls this year. We'll hear from Marcus Freeman. Did he tell us enough left? Did he give us enough clues? We'll talk about it. Mike DENBROCK, he's happy. Chris Ash said this is the most talented defense and most deep defense that I've had since a national championship defense. We'll talk about that. Once again, Apple Podcast, Spotify, Bleav Network, presented by FanDuel. TikTok, Twitter, X, Instagram at Lucky Lefty Pod. Hit us up. So we have to, first of all, I want to apologize. I am on the road in what was sunny Orlando, Florida. It is now rainy Orlando, Florida. It was a beautiful
20 minutes.
20
minutes.
Yes, you're right. Every afternoon, it showers for about 20, 30 minutes. I mean, a strong thunderstorm. Thunder, lightning, everything, full effects. And then the next thing you know, no.
It's quick, and then it's hot. Now you like,
yeah.
I'm swimming through the air out here.
Yeah. So I have to apologize because, first of all, it's been the last 3-4 days has been nothing short of an emotional roller coaster for myself and my family. Left. Shout out and happy birthday to Little Left, who celebrated his birthday out there on the West Coast. I like when shorties get the 3-day celebration. You set them up. You're supposed to celebrate your birthday more than just the day. You know what I mean? Everybody should celebrate you.
My son, he's really awesome. He just don't even know it's his birthday. So he walking in, what is this? These are gifts from me. I'm like, yeah, it's your day. We got it on this day. We celebrate. He just okay, going with it. So it's always fun when you get a chance to like introduce something. Like even I'm sure you felt brushing your daughter's teeth for the first couple times before they got it. It was like, okay, I'm teaching you how to do that. That's just it. Like you'll have this for the rest of your life, and I'm doing it and stuff. So it's you can't get that back.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me tell you something. I had to start with that because, of course, 30 minutes before our show Friday, I get a call and lost a family member. Had to rush downtown to comfort my nephew who was just getting out of football practice. He plays at a D2 school here in the Chicagoland area. And so we had to go let him know about the news because we didn't want him to see it on Facebook or something like that. Go down there, comfort him. The show was supposed to start. I forget the original start time, but we pushed it back to 9. I got back south about 8:45, hit you left like I'm back. And then, honestly said to myself, I can't do this show. I'm not in the right mindset. Then we pushed the show back to Saturday. And we're going to do the show Saturday. Wake up Saturday morning, only to find out that my wife's grandmother has passed away. And so that was another gut punch. And just tough, man. We consistently tell you on this show, love one another in the chat and love your people, man. Love your people. Love your people. Let them know that you love them. Let them know that you appreciate them. But you better believe, myself and Left, we appreciate everyone that is a subscriber, that is someone that's tapped in on the audio side, someone that talks about our show negatively, positively, someone that hits the thumbs up, even if you come and say something that is negative and hit the thumbs down. Hey, you're locked in. You're listening. You're paying attention. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. So,
Thanks.
Yeah, that's... And then to top it off, Left, I apologize for the audio because it's not up to my normal standards. And it's because as I packed everything, the one thing I forgot to pack was my mic, Left. I packed everything except my mic. And then I said, you know what? I have the answer. I ordered a mic from Best Buy and had it delivered to the resort. Got the bag, came upstairs and was like, yeah, we're good to go. Only to open the bag and realize it was literally a mic. No cord, no stand, just a mic.
SD no mics? No, we can't.
SD, yes, I am SD no mics today.
Because you carry 2, so to not have 2, it's like, oh, there's something going on.
I'm telling you, man, the chat right here, LL, is the best, man. It's the absolute best. So we're going to talk about Michigan, Connor Stallions, that foolishness. Then we're going to talk about, man, let me tell you something, boy. See, this is the problem. If you think it's bad now, because you see the Big Ten has tried to play bully ball with the SEC earlier this summer.
Absolutely.
Now they're talking about we need to get 24 teams into the playoffs and then guarantee 5 teams from the Big Ten and up to 7 teams from the conference can get in. What? The 7th place team last year was Minnesota, bro. They don't deserve to be in a playoff. Playoffs?
Playoffs.
Playoffs? What are we doing right now, man? What? I don't know what we're doing right now. We're going to get to all of that along with your polls at the end of the show. But a scrimmage took place inside of Notre Dame Stadium. So much buzz. I have some things to say, Left.
Okay.
I have some things to say. We're going to hear from Marcus Freeman, but I have some things to say. And I'm going to tease. And then when we get done with Marcus Freeman and get done with Chris Ash and Mike DENBROCK, we're going to come back to this question that I'm going to pose, Left. So I want you to hold off. Hold off. But I want to start it off like this. Many sides have been taken in regards to the Notre Dame quarterback battle.
Yes.
Hashtags, why not mention? CJ leads us. There's all types of things on social media.
All types of things.
Everyone is rooted and planted in who they believe the guy should be. Some are basing it off of the spring scrimmage, the spring game. Some are basing it off of intel.
It's becoming big. It's becoming big, man.
So I got a source here. I got a source there. I got a source at Mission Barbecue that talks to the offensive linemen because they feed the team, and players in the offensive line room are saying this. Or I talked to some students that are friends with the wide receivers, and the wide receivers are saying this. Oh, did you see Jeremiah Love's Instagram? And he's playing with Kenny Minchie. What does this mean? Everybody wants to be a detective. Everyone.
They want the answer, SD. They want the answer. Who's the guy? It's like we're playing the mystery game where you got to figure out who's the killer. Who's the guy? You can't focus on the schedule. When you think of the matchups, you think of the quarterback matchups. Who's running out there? We like both, which is a great problem to have. But at the same time, having two is like having none. There's only one football, only one voice that you can listen to when you're out there, regardless of the talk and the chatter. And I think that Marcus Freeman being more direct and clear on who the guy is, like he was with Riley. I think the biggest benefit for Riley was the fact that the team and the staff supported him when in doubt. They could have easily tanked on Riley and went a different direction. Easily. But the wherewithal for the staff to be behind this guy, especially the head coach, it gave Riley the confidence to play probably beyond his means. Because anybody else, 5 games and you're struggling, you're probably going to continue to struggle in another setting. But because the Notre Dame staff was built the right way, the team is built the right way, the staff had the faith in you. They didn't give up on you and try to rotate quarterbacks. They gave you enough of the gas that you needed to fuel yourself to become what we ended up dependent on late in the playoffs, which is fine. But Marcus Freeman, don't make up a new script. Don't reinvent the wheel. Keep that same mindset, but just be more confident that you have homegrown talent. This is an easy one to side on us or be a big proponent of, because think about it. You was a proponent of a guy that you hired off the street. So why be so, I don't know, maybe that they know, but you tell the media you don't know, but I don't know why. So, I pray for both dudes. I think that, like I said, either one, we're still talking about a 10-game win season. Either one. I mean, how many teams can say that? So it's not that big of a deal, but it's a big deal because you talk about that second season when you get into the playoffs. And now you need to have name brand, established household name guys that you know is leading the charge. That's just what it's going to take, because our last appearance there, we had a guy that we hired. Made in China. What they say, made in another country, made in China. We need something made in America, made on the from what the process is taking and the program is building. I mean, Marcus Freeman can't put a stamp of saying this is a program built player at the quarterback position. How can you not say that? You say it for every other position. You can't say that for the quarterback position. So this is the year. It's all out there. Mike DENBROCK, very, very, very smart, intelligent offensive coordinator. I think he's up there with Todd Monken. Todd Monken just had Brock Bowers. 3-time All-American. And he's killing it for the Raiders. But Mike DENBROCK, as smart as he is, he's dealing with a delicate situation. He believes that if he was running with this system that he's bringing in now, sky's the limit of what he could have did before. So I'm excited for what we're going to see rather than what we saw in the past that the offense had gotten through. And I think that's where we're at. And either guy can do it. Either guy. NCAA 26 has CJ Carr starting. I don't know what that means. However, I do think it is good to see that regardless of who you put in there, you get the same product, which is W's. And unfortunately, the regular season, with where we are as a team and the belief we have from the fan base and from the staff as a team, we know we're a second season team before we start playing. We know we can make it to the playoffs. The goal is, who is that dominant guy we can point to when we get to the playoffs that we can lean on in crucial moments. Georgia is not an easy victory. Texas is not an easy victory. Ohio State obviously isn't an easy victory. A quarterback changes that game perspective. Because if you look at the game, if you go back to national championship, we had everything it took to make the fight the fight. We didn't have what it took to win the fight. We had enough to make it a fight. We got the players. We can survive an onslaught of offense and a heavy structured defense. We can survive both of that. But did we have the knockout punch, or could we just survive the rounds? We were surviving rounds, knowing we didn't have no KO. The quarterback position gives you a KO. And both guys are capable. And through this battle, we hope to see a superstar. That's what people aren't talking about. Regardless of who wins now, the winner should be in New York at the end of the season. That's what we're talking. If Marcus Freeman doesn't have a guy sitting at the end of New York at the end of the season, then what are we talking about? How big of a competition can this be? So I'm banking on, regardless of who gets nominated as the starter, we're still winning the first game. And most likely, we're having a good regular season. It's that second season is the unknown that has been created, which is fine. But we know what it takes to get to the end, but we need that guy to get us over the top.
Left, here is the question. And then we're going to get to Marcus Freeman and what he had to say after Sunday's scrimmage in Notre Dame Stadium. When does CJ leapfrog Kenny? And I want you to come to understand, when did it happen? It's an honest question. I want the chat to tap in. We'll talk about it towards the end of the show. When did the leapfrog happen? Because coming out of camp last year, he was behind Kenny. During the season, before he got injured, Kenny was the first quarterback in after
going into
bowl prep. Kenny was in front of CJ.
Purdue game he ran out. Yeah.
So they went to the offseason where it was clear that Kenny was ahead of CJ.
Just naturally.
And before the spring preparation even got here, all of a sudden the narrative just flat flipped. Even though we saw on the field
with our eyes,
we saw, no, not with our eyes, we saw what the coaches saw, and they set the pecking order. They set the pecking order. So I'm just trying to figure out when did, like checkers, when did he jump Kenny? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
No game experience.
With no spring prep, nothing, practices taking place. When did it happen? When did it happen?
The weight room?
I'm not talking. I'm not I'm not even talking about the spring game. I'm talking about the narrative started before they even started spring practice.
Winter conditioning. Did he lose a race? Did he lose a race in winter conditioning? What? If he was behind, it's no different than the Dante situation. He was behind Dante the entire time. From 7-on-7 to recruitment, he was the secondary guy. It wasn't until Dante had the thought that, like, you know what? I could use a room full of Nike shoes. It wasn't until the man said, oh, I can get every Jordan release sent to the house and a pick for my dad. It wasn't until that's when they start saying, you know what, CJ, we like you too. But CJ was always the secondary guy. What jumped CJ over Dante in recruitment?
And the reason I asked the question, Left, I see most people, they might, oh, he's about to come with a biased take. No, I asked the question because it's going to go along with something that Marcus Freeman said. And, in my opinion, goes along with the pedigree of Marcus Freeman. And we'll get to that. Put it in the chat. When did it happen?
When?
Because I'm trying to figure out before the spring game. That's when everybody saw something. Because the same minimal access that the media has in the fall camp, they had in the spring camp. So what happened? No, it's not a different year. He was behind him in January of 2025. He was behind him on the depth chart.
He was hurt.
It's not a different. But he was back.
Yeah, he was hurt. So
he was behind him before. He was behind him before. See, the question is not. See, people are missing what I'm saying. How can you form a narrative on something that you had no visible proof of? No, I'm not talking about. I'm talking about before the spring game, because all of this stuff started February, March.
He was
before anything. The train. The train has started. The train has started.
Like when Riley left, it was a vacant spot. It wasn't even who was the incumbent. It was a vacant spot that CJ was walking into. That was the narrative before snaps were taken in spring. That was the narrative before CJ came off of an elbow injury. How you get the press that you about to walk in as a starter over a guy coming off an injury? We done, at least Riley was a fifth year. You know, you can look at previous film and you can surmise maybe. This man coming off an injury, you're like, he's walking into starting.
Hey, they have an Olivia Pope in that building, bro. It's a fixer in that building. It's a fixer. It's a fixer in that building, bro. It's a fixer in that building somewhere, bro.
What practice?
And now, so this is why we now sit here and people are saying things like, if Kenny does win, we're settling. If Kenny does win, the offense is going to look totally different because he's more of a runner than a passer. Like people we're getting all of these wide ranging, just crazy
We stuck in that
narratives.
mode now. We stuck in that mode now.
But my point is, even if you believe one or the other should be the guy, you have limited proof to be. You should not be standing 10 toes down. You should be standing 2 toes down at the most right now.
Yeah. You should be
2.
saying, I guesstimate.
You should be on your tippy toes. Because no one can say, no camp can say, I've seen enough. I have enough sample data.
Because they're getting ridiculous. They're talking about breaking news.
Oh, man. Cass out here talking about the team has been told. Man, stop. What are we doing, man? It's like,
I mean, they're like, it's done. It's over. The secret is out the bag. Everybody knows but you. This is me letting you know it's been decided. That's where I'm like.
And it's been that way on both sides, love.
Yeah.
On both sides, it's been breaking news. And it's like, man, look.
What we say, just because you want to be the first.
But I once again, I'm not going to blame the fans.
No.
I'm not blaming the fans.
I'm
not blaming, because the fans have been given scraps right about now. The fans are 2 pit bulls fighting over a steak right now. Just trying to get information. Just trying to figure something out.
You only get warm-ups in a tempo period. You only get enough to say they look clean in the jersey.
The Notre Dame fans are the lady in the commercial with the old dude with the fishing pole with the dollar. Oh, you almost had it. You almost had it. That's like the media is dangling that little money, that little $1 bill in front of Notre Dame fans, and Notre Dame fans keep reaching for it. And it's like it's nothing there. It's a mirage.
And turning the dollar into it's $100 bill, it's a $20
yes.
bill, it's $50.
Yes.
It's just $1.
You almost had it. You almost had it.
You almost had this. I swear, if I just
man.
I'm like, come on, man.
It's crazy.
Because at the end of the day, guys, this year we got capable guys that can get the job done. And when you get into the games and the thick of it and the game plan, and you get to see the offense develop, quarterback will be less talked about this whole season. You got Jeremiah Love. You got Jaden Greathouse. You got the 2 transfers, Will Pauling and Malachi Fields. You got an O-line that's highly anticipated and talked about. And every position on offense is deep. We don't even talk about the tight ends as much on this channel. But we have about 3 or 4 tight ends that can get it done. So the quarterback is a big piece, but a small story to all the things that we have going on. So Marcus Freeman, it's a big decision, but it ain't a hard decision because it's a win-win. This is just a matter of who do you like more? Do you like 13 or 8 more? Because at the end of the day, both of them are going to give you at least 10 wins. That's what I believe for both of them.
So we do want to congratulate, because there are congratulations. First team preseason All-American Jeremiah Love and Leonard Moore. Congratulations to both guys. Well deserved. I don't think it's hype. I think they are dudes, and I think they will end up on the first team All-American team at the end of the season. Then Notre Dame has named. Notre Dame has also named its captains. One was easy to see from a mile away, and that's Drake Bowen. I told people
he was nominated.
He was a senior being recruited. I told people when he was a senior in high school, he is a future captain on this team.
That's just his personality.
Very easy to see. Also, right tackle Wagner. We heard a lot about him, even when he wasn't participating in the spring because of injury.
Wow.
He was one of the leaders.
Really?
Also, this doesn't shock me at all. Defensive tackle Donovan Hines. Doesn't shock me at all.
No, he's been there.
No, that doesn't shock me at all.
He gets it. He's a guy that gets it.
Absolutely. Also, doesn't shock me. Shroud, left guard. Not shocking. Definitely fits the mold. I will say this.
I saw the fake tweet where they said Cam Williams was the captain.
Oh, that was funny. Cam Williams is too much of a Cam Williams. That's my guy. Cam is a lot of fun. Cam, you are going to laugh and be in stitches and entertained if you're around Cam in the locker room. But I will say this, the most impactful to me, there are two. Those are the ones that you expected. Emil Wagner maybe shocked you a little bit.
But you're more
Wisconsin. Yes. Wisconsin wide receiver transfer Will Pauling. That right there tells you everything. For somebody to come in as a transfer.
But you hear how they talk about it.
That's true. Coaches and players.
They call him the Goog Rat. How you the Goog Rat? You don't even know what the Goog is.
That's impressive to me, Left.
See, that's the credit deserved, where not the credit we gave Riley, where he just nominated as just the captain. We like, how are you the captain? They don't call you the Goog Rat. You can't even practice. That's not to throw shade on Riley's presence or nothing, but this is an example of, okay, a guy coming in really earning it. Because it wasn't something that came out of nowhere. They start talking about him like, man, he won't leave. He came in like he was here before we. Like, that's what you want when you get it. That's like striking gold on the transfer. A guy that can become super dependable and becomes a guy you don't even have to talk to. He got his own routine. And when you hear him talk, he talks about the room and how he inspires them. Oh, I just want to teach. I just want to help do this and that. And still, they call the man the Goog Rat. You deserve to be a captain, because how you get a name like that? You ain't even come in the spring. To be named Goog Rat, that means you don't leave. How do you not leave and you only been there a couple months? So, very well. But I think that's a real captain nomination that can turn the team, that can change the momentum of the team, which is a great call. Great call, because a lot of coaches and staffs wouldn't feel confident in a one-year guy leading the team. So that just shows you how mature our team is. Where they're at a place where we're at a foundation where we can accept the leader. We ain't just out of control looking for whoever. We're confident in what we got going on, and we added somebody that we feel like, okay, well, you see a direction, especially for a room that has been underappreciated.
Yeah.
Because I think that there's talent in there that would rival top receiver groups in the country. But I mean, it's circumstance, happenstance that we just ain't a lot of balls going that way. And, that's the offense ain't set up. But talent-wise, because look at it. We just had 3 potential top first 4-round draft picks at receiver. And none of them had 1,000 yards in a year. Miles Boykin, Claypool, and EQ never had 1,000-yard season. And they're all draft picks still in the league running 4.4s. I didn't even know that's how underappreciated and underdeveloped the receiver talent was. I didn't even know how fast they was. I'm thinking they would move Miles to tight end when he gets to the league because he's big and this man ran a 4.4. So for a receiver to be a captain in this stance and where the receiver room is, that's huge. It's huge because we even had coaches we didn't like at the receiver position. So a leader to come out of that and be the leader of the team, I know the receivers are looking to have an impact.
Yeah. Lucky Lefty podcast. And then the second most impactful to me, I can't say that I was shocked, but it's important because I felt like from a leadership standpoint and dependability standpoint on the back end, Xavier Watts was a tremendous loss. And I said in spring practice left, if Adon Shuler can become that leader and be as dependable as X was, he's not the athlete that X was, but can you be that leader? And so when I saw that he was announced as a captain, I was like, okay, now we're cooking. Because that's why you harp on, and see, people are just now getting into being excited about the maturation of the quarterback room with this quarterback battle. You were adamant that we needed to start that clock last year with Steve. And that was before they went and got Riley Leonard. I'm not trying to even talk about whether or not Steve should have started. But you were adamant about that process starting and how important it is to have the maturation in your rooms. And see, Adon Shuler is a direct result of being poured into by Xavier Watts and it being handed over to him.
Pass
that? Right. Yes. And we have seen it in the offensive line room. We've seen it.
The torch pass from left tackle to left tackle to left tackle. We've seen it.
We've seen it. We've seen it pass down. We've seen it pass down from JD to Jack, now to Drake. We've seen it pass down. And now that's what we want to see in the quarterback room. We want to see it begin to be passed down. Regardless of the makeup of the quarterback, regardless of what gifts are better than this one or gifts are better than that one, whoever the guy is, more than anything, can you pass down, this is the way you play quarterback at Notre Dame.
At Notre Dame. Perfect. Yes. I agree
100%. I don't know about Georgia. I don't know about Purdue. I don't know about Michigan, USC. At Notre Dame, this is the standard for quarterback. Execution, excellence, and winning. This is the standard. And so I think winning was established by Riley Leonard in a sense, being able to close, being able to do whatever is necessary to win football games, that's been established. Both of the quarterbacks, all of the quarterbacks have talked about what they learned from Riley, the type of young man he is, on and off the field, the winning, the toughness. They got that. And some other things that Riley couldn't.
A great crash course. Upholding the mantle at quarterback, being a first-time guy. And I think that's they could really connect because they're like, okay, he isn't an Ian Book where this is his third go at it. This is a guy that's getting a rush crash course of everything he needs to know and then run out there. So if we take a rush course and we can get to a national championship, how about we just take the process and do the same thing and see the benefits of it with more talent? And that's where we get excited about because it's like, okay, we ain't got to reach and go search. We got it right at home, and we've proven concept that we can take a guy off the street and make him better than what he would be at the school if he stayed. Let's talk about that. Would Riley be talked about at all if he stayed at Duke and didn't come to Notre Dame? No, we can curate a prime position for you to take off at Notre Dame. That's why this year is important because we can't lack. We took a guy that everybody in the world saw. We brought to the dance. Now, who we bringing to the dance? Who's bringing us to the dance? Who's asking us on a date? because then now we at the top. Now we in a position where people. I think teams will give us the respect of the Ohio States and the Texases because they got marquee guys. They got guys that you can point to and say, oh, he did this, he did that. How are we in a position with those tier of teams and don't have a marquee name? Jeremiah Love as a running back only goes so far. We saw what it looked like with Kyron. Kyron was great. We had no quarterback to stamp it. So I think this is a perfect opportunity for either one to take hold of it and put us in the right direction. Because this is a 2-3 year deal. Now this was great. This is a 2-3 year deal. If you do it right, shoot, man, they'll talk about you forever because everything else is set up.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's an important deal. That's why people get excited when it rush to it.
I'm going to make an early prediction, Left. Whomever wins the quarterback competition for Notre Dame will be the favorite to win the Heisman in 2026. I'm saying it right now.
Yep.
Notre Dame's quarterback, the starting quarterback for Notre Dame, will be the Heisman favorite in 2026. You can book it. You can book it.
Because we're going to win 13 games as a first-year guy. There's no way he's not going to have the hype from this year going into next year and not. CJ Carr has Heisman odds. What's the game really come to? That's how cheap the game has been valued, where we're putting guys in the Heisman odds that don't even have the starting spot yet, let alone win a game, take a snap, don't even have the starting spot yet and has favorable Heisman odds. That's telling you that the team is good. That's just telling you the team is good. The team is for you to walk in there and deliver a Heisman without the extra necessary media. You don't have to be Colorado to do all these spectacles to get that media attention. You just got to be halfway decent because everything else around you is buffering you. This is the most buffered position in college football is the Notre Dame football position.
Lucky Lefty podcast. You told me something before we hear from Marcus Freeman. Left, didn't you say on the NCAA game that Kenny Minchie is rated higher even though CJ is the starter?
CJ's the starter. I just saw it today. CJ's the starter at 80. Kenny Minchie is the backup at 82. Now, you know me. Now, I'm not saying I don't like CJ there. Aesthetically, from a very biased opinion, I am number 8. So it's nice to see another number 8 on the field. That's all I'm gonna say. And it's crazy because they built Kenny on the game a little bit like me. I'm not just going, he's a little lighter. He got a little hair out the back.
You're right. But the right hand version.
The swag is right there. The swag. I'm like, am I playing 17 or am I playing 26? See, I had to put the brain a little bit. So I'm super excited for Kenny Minchie to be everything that we want him to be. That's just honest to God.
So, Lucky Lefty podcast, audio edibles over at Bleav Network, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We are presented by FanDuel. Download the FanDuel app at FanDuel.com. All right, Left. Let's hear from Marcus Freeman. LL fans, Notre Dame fans. Let's hear what Marcus Freeman had to say after the team scrimmaged. And he said it was a tough scrimmage. I believe he said the defense won by 4 points. And I don't know how they scored it, but to hear that the defense won, I'm actually kind of cool with that. Because I want that defense to go in and really smack around Carson Beck. I really do. But he was asked about
how they valuing Carson Beck. Like, he just go walk in and do what Cam Ward did. Like, that was easy. Like, come on, man. Give my man some respect,
Marcus Freeman. What was asked about quarterbacks. Let's see what he had to say. Let's start with the quarterbacks. I was going to start with his mindset about his team and the mindset he wants them to have. Let's start with the quarterbacks. Let's go ahead and get it out of the way. This is what Coach Freeman had to say.
In a competition, we'll go back and evaluate today's practice today and make a decision. We got to make a decision here soon. I don't know when we'll make it. I don't want to put a timeline on it. But they've both been playing really, really well. You got two guys that have been battling all camp, and today was no different. Guy out there. There were some good things, some things we got to get improved. But the best thing I love is that they've both gotten better, and that's the whole point of having a competition. Is if you have a competition, it could raise the level of the people in the competition, and then that's what has happened. Both of those two have really elevated their play, and we'll make a decision. He will make a decision.
You talked at the start of camp about putting them in as many live situations, high-pressure situations as possible. What's that looked like? How has it informed, where you are to this point?
Every day we've done some type of, 2-minute situation and since camp, and we're no different today. Practice 15, we're still doing, and that's part of it is high pressure, but also is them understanding some of those critical details of the last minutes of the half, last minutes of a game, and some of the decisions you got to make. And so it's not just for the quarterbacks, it's for everybody, but I think they've done a really good job.
What do you say? I mean, he's excited that he has capable guys willing and open and present to be able to handle this job. But at the end of the day, Marcus Freeman, it's a big boy decision. You're getting paid the extension bucks you are because you are the guy that pulls the lever. Everybody has an opinion, especially about this quarterback position, and the only person it really matters to is you. Because this is your face and label you're stamping for the third year in a row, a different guy, but this time it's homegrown. So the pressure is a little more just because he's been in camp. He's been in your camp. It's not like we had to watch a bunch of film and recruit the guy and invite him to dinner. He was already eating training table for 2 years. The man knows the routine. He know where he got to be. He know what the classes is like. Nothing is surprising this guy. This is the guy you want to work into a already built program. We're done with the newbies. We're done with the hot new pieces that come in. We need one of them old dudes that been the janitor the whole time and have every key to the door. Because now we're ready. We got the place set up. So that's why I'm excited for Marcus Freeman. It's still a decision where it's a win-win, in my opinion, but it's only a win-win when you're decisive. Be decisive. If you're not decisive, it will go from extremely well curated problem to have to you just blew the whole thing up and now we're 4-8 and not making the playoffs. That's how delicate it is because the quarterback situation is what makes it go.
He also talked more he's seen in the quarterback competition and how he's really going about observing what both of these young men have been able to do throughout the beginning as they go into the fourth part 4 of fall camp, as they call it, preparing for Miami. He's impressed by both guys, and he talked about them in terms of the competition.
The advantage is our offense is practice. The whoever are the ones have practiced with both quarterbacks, and they're comfortable with both quarterbacks. And so sometimes you don't get that when you have a starter and a backup. All of a sudden that backup comes in with the ones, and there's a little bit of confusion in terms of they don't understand how he does his cadences, the collabs, or whatever we end up doing. And so I think it's a benefit. I'm always going to look at it as a benefit no matter what the situation is.
With the wide receivers, and we talked to Coach Brown, and he thought 6 would be a good early rotation. we can think of 4, I think, some of the veteran guys. How have you seen Micah Gilbert and Elijah Burris and maybe someone else progress through camp?
Yeah, KK Smith. Those are the guys you're talking about, 5th, 6th, 7th. Those guys have really done an excellent job of improving, right? And there's been days they've been with the 1s, days they've been with the 2s, but I think they've done a really good job of gaining confidence from our offensive coordinator, the quarterbacks, and everybody else. And so been really pleased with the emergence. And Logan Saldalte's done a good job, but I think all those guys are improving, and we got to figure out what we're going to do in terms of getting them on the field.
The main thing that stuck out to me was Marcus Freeman talking about the confidence that both guys are having as they're getting the experience, as they're getting the reps. And that's all you can really want, is the most confident guy to be in that position, because when the live bullets fly, you have to think in perspective of nobody's helping you, but you got to man this ship. And practice is really built and based on a controlled environment. So who is the guy that has the best decision making when the chips are on the line? And I think a guy that's been there just through process and has experienced the hardships of not being the one chosen through whatever circum or happenstance, and that's Kenny Minchie. Now, CJ Carr is going to have his time, and he's going to have his time at some point this year. Thankfully, due to the fact that I think we'll be a double-digit favorite and have double-digit victories over a good amount of teams this year, to where you can feel confident as the fan that CJ Carr is going to get time, whether it be them rotating every other quarter or whether it be Kenny Minchie blowing the team out and then they bring in the guys in the fourth quarter. We all still win. And I think that's the Marcus Freeman baseline of this all, is that, as much as we care about a starter, at some point, whoever runs out there is going to be the guy that leads the charge and takes all of the questions and all of the things that come with the quarterback. Fortunately, through the pressures of recruiting and how good we are as a team, everybody's going to get to play. That's the benefit of having an all-star team, is that everybody's going to get a chance to contribute, and that's the beauty of how Marcus Freeman built the program. Built it off of the fact that everybody can contribute. We're not a one-star driven team, but we have many stars that you can highlight, and that makes it overwhelming for teams that we play against, because it's like they can specialize in one area because that's the strength of their recruiting. Our recruiting covers the whole gambit. It covers the whole gambit. You get the best of the offense, the defense, the special teams. The staff is built well. We're well funded. And we found the secret code to getting around NIL. Name a team that you can say, because everybody talks about the benefit and how the NIL has run rampant through teams and programs that copycat themselves. But what team can you name other than Notre Dame that is open about the fact that we're not an NIL-driven based recruiting service? Who's bold enough to say that? If Ohio State was to say we're a team-based, not primarily focused on NIL type of team and program we want to promote, but we still want to be competing for championships, no, Ohio State wouldn't even be named in the top 10 moving forward. They got to spend the money. We're the fortunate and one of the few and only teams in the country that have cracked the code to the NIL. Yes, it's important. Yes, we need some money, but we can still build stars based on the love of what they're coming into instead of what they can get or benefit from.
Left, out of everything he said, what stands out to me is that he knows a decision to be made. And this is why I played these first two clips, because it goes to the conversation we had in the first part of the show of when did certain things happen. And so that's a question that I think Marcus Freeman to ask. And I think it's part of his analysis of the situation. We have to ask ourselves, And I think you said it best. This is his decision. This is why he gets paid the big bucks. Some fans probably would prefer Mike DENBROCK make the decision. Some fans might want Geno make the decision. I'll step out and say this. I'll step out and say this. Geno knows this is an important decision as far as how he looks. He knows this. Unfortunately, the decision is not in his hands. And that has to be a tough situation. That has to be a tough situation. Because Geno's under the microscope with this decision.
Yeah. He needs
and
this
how the starter plays.
He needs this to work regardless.
Absolutely.
Like, he probably has an opinion and a favorite and a guy he thinks he could probably get it done with better. But it ain't, like you said, it ain't his decision. So he's like, listen, I just want to prepare Pope guys to be good, and then we can work off of that. But we can't choose the wrong one because where does that put me? I mean, you damn near put yourself on the chopping block without even trying if this doesn't go good. Just because of the nature of the situation. You've been on ice for 2 years, chilling, collecting the check, some would say. Yeah, everybody know you wasn't coaching O'Reilly and Sam Hart. I mean, come on. I mean, you know. Hey, I think you should see this. I think you should do this. You know, some of that. But you ain't coaching these guys. But the new guys, it's Geno all over them. Al Washington's no different. But this is why I think it's important that the three-headed monster are working together. I believe 2015 there was some indecision in the staff.
Is Geno in a win-win?
No.
No?
He's in a win-lose.
Really?
Yes. Because let's say he believes in one guy over the other, and Marcus Freeman choose the opposite. The only person in the situation it could even be bad for is Geno, because he has the biggest hand in making this thing work. DENBROCK and Marcus Freeman are just picking the lay guy, but Geno has all the responsibility on who it falls on, not even based on this year, but what was you doing years before with these same guys? So his whole thing is based on this working, because it's more on him than anybody else. Marcus Freeman will tell you himself, he's like, they're going to decide for themselves. That's how you know Marcus Freeman hasn't been tuned in every day. Like, I guarantee you, Geno's not going to say that. Geno's going to tell you the strengths and weaknesses of all the guys and what he wants to see in the starting guy. I hope. DENBROCK's just excited that he can do everything with all the guys. What did he say? He said we got the ball comes out the same way 3 different times. Okay. Okay, you say that. Okay.
That speaks for itself. Yeah.
But he also
Marcus
said
Freeman.
So remember that.
Who has surprised Marcus Freeman during this camp? And then what is the timetable for making a decision? Let's see what he said, Lefty.
They're both really good. They're really good players, man, and they both have a short-term memory. They're able to move forward from mistakes. They're coachable. They both work at the game. They work outside of, the NCAA mandated hours. And so, again, there's not much negative I can say about them. Those dudes are improving and doing a really good job.
And then as far as the timetable, I know you said there isn't one, and you've said that all year, but as it gets closer to the season starting, did you think that maybe you would have known by now? was there always a possibility that it would drag on like this?
I never put a timeline on it, you know. And I mean, I didn't because of why. It's going to make you frustrated if you do that. But I said, hey, as soon as one clearly says he should be the starter, then we'll make a decision. Now, we have to make a decision before we play, and we will, you know. But there hasn't been that moment where this guy said he is clearly the starter. Let's just leave him with the one. They've been battling. They've both been doing a really good job.
There hasn't been a moment in all of camp that's hit anybody. Now, hey, man, look, I love Freeman. Usually, and I'm looking at this from basketball, bro. When I have a large sample of data, which honestly is
large.
It's going, bro, it's going over 22 days right now. 20 days right now. 20 days.
Man, like, come on, bro. Are you
plus
telling
spring?
Me you recruited the same player? Come on, man. Come on. I think he's happy at the fact that he's not lacking anything at the quarterback position. He's not lacking nothing. He's not lacking a leader, because we've heard both guys are leaders in their own right. He's not lacking the arm that we have both wanted and desired more of. And they both can do enough that is in the space of winning that we need, that Marcus Freeman's like, look, I'm not pressed. Because if I close my eyes and pick one, I'm not wrong, which is fine. But Marcus Freeman, that's just not how it works. It's just not how it works. A guy has to have the know-how and the confidence that this is his team, because he's got to go out there and do it, and they got to listen to him. It's just a thing where it's like, mom and dad. If mom and dad aren't on the same page, what is the kid going to do? He's going to play both sides. What's the offensive line going to do? Oh, Kenny had a bad drive. Shit, I kind of like how CJ do it better in 2 minutes. I'm a little more excited to block under. It could be because it's too many voices. It needs to be a unified group. And
now, I think what you've spoken to when we were talking about the captains, I do think the culture is strong enough to handle what has transpired in this quarterback battle. I don't worry about the team being everybody's going to have. Jeremiah Love is playing with Kenny Minchie because he came in with Kenny Minchie, and that's his guy. That's his boy. That's his boy. We don't even have to speculate what it means. They came in the same class. That's his boy. That's his boy. That's all it is. That's his boy. So everyone has an opinion. I'm sure of that. But are those opinions going to cause fractures and all of that? No, I just don't believe what Marcus Freeman has built as a culture. I believe is really the perfect. Is really, honestly, what he has built. He knows can deal with this. Can deal with this. So I'm just going to say this, and then we're going to move to some other things that Coach Freeman talked about. People talk about upside, one guy having more upside, one guy being a better passer, this, that, and the other. Honestly, look at the pedigree of Marcus Freeman. He is a defensive-minded coach. I just want to give people some things to think about.
Defensive-minded coach. Yeah, that's
he is a defensive-minded coach, right? Let's start there. Let's go back to what he said. No one has shown that they are that guy. Some people have tried to twist that into thinking like, well, does he have a real starter? No. What he's saying is, I'm going to be honest. I'm not saying this is what he's saying, but I think this is the real deal. And it goes back to what I said in the first part of the show. When did the jump happen? Because one guy has been ahead on the depth chart.
But this goes back to what I say about
let me just, I'm going to finish this point, then I'm going to let you rock. If you are going to jump somebody, it should be definitive.
Facts.
And if it has not been definitive to this point, how can somebody be jumped? That's just a fair question. If it has not been definitive to this point, how can someone that has been in front be jumped? I think definitively Kenny Minchey and CJ showed they were the better options than Steve Angeli. I believe that was definitive.
Facts.
That was definitive. So Marcus Freeman said, yo, Steve, we're going to rock with these two young guys going into camp.
Steve knew. I think Steve was searching teams through the spring because we knew after that last game. Okay,
yes. I'm sure his family members and his representation, absolutely. And shout out to Steve Angeli, who was named QB1 for Syracuse today.
Hey, Notre Dame providing future leaders for college football out here now. Like, come on. But this goes back to my point.
Go ahead, Left. Go ahead.
If CJ's not that's just the whole premise. If CJ Carr is not the undeniable first round pick, 33-2 type of starter, if he's not head and shoulders over Kenny, like you keep mentioning, there was nothing that took place to have the moment where you're like, aha, in practice. And that's attributed to two things. One, what moments were created to have that? We don't know.
Fair. That's fair.
But I would hope that Marcus Freeman would have made an environment where you could find that answer in practice. Now, that's hard to do. It's hard to do. The second thing is once again, what is the backing behind CJ Carr being this undeniable competition when he was always second fiddle through various reasons to Kenny?
I don't want to use the phrase second fiddle.
Okay, that's bad to say.
He was behind on the depth chart. He was behind them on the depth chart.
He got here a little later. That's why he's behind. But at the same time, I've been saying this about CJ. CJ is a very capable starter already. CJ's career is going to be defined by the moments. And this is a prime example of what I'm talking about. Because when he eventually becomes a starter, it's going to be when in those moments did he make the case that he's that guy. Because you're not going to find it due to two factors. One, we're a great team and we out-talent most teams we play. And the second is with CJ, we know that he's codependent on the talent around him as of now. So in these games, because he's so technically sound and he's got the talent, him playing against Purdue, you're not going to tell the difference between him and Kenny. Him playing against Louisville, you're not going to tell the difference between him and Kenny because he's going to do all the right things. It's a moment thing with Kenny and CJ because Kenny's the same thing. Kenny's got to have some consistency, but his thing that is unknown is moments as well. Do we believe that he'll take more moments based on his skill set? Possibly. That's what we're hoping for. But CJ is going to be fine. That's what I want the fan base to know. If he doesn't start today, he is going to be your starter at some point in the near future, just because that's just how talented I believe he is. But it's about time. We need sort of that everybody's on board with this is the face of football. Now, Kenny, on the other hand, I just think he deserves it. He deserves the chance to see if this is the window that every football player at Notre Dame has. Steve had a window. It wasn't very big. My window wasn't very big. Ian Book's window, very, very big. So everybody's different. which is why moments at Notre Dame is important. You think about Chris Mitchell. Chris Mitchell was the leading receiver in college, all of college football, and had to play a role of catching less than 5 balls a game. Come on. That's Notre Dame. But if you can maximize those 5 carries, those 5 catches, aka Jeremiah Love, I mean, you eating out of your hands. So that's just the feast or famine at Notre Dame. And for these quarterbacks, unfortunately, it's feast or famine. Because whoever's the starter, that second guy is just a different place in life.
Yeah. See, for me,
yeah, you're a Notre Dame quarterback, but you at a different place in life. You ain't the starter.
Yeah. It is. Let me tell you something, man. It is one of those things that stop. We have to be wiser as fans. Stop going down this rabbit hole where you want to blame Marcus Freeman for holding offensive football back. Stop. He's a defensive-minded head coach. Kirby Smart does the exact same thing. Jake Fromm started in front of the quarterback with more upside. Stetson Bennett started in front of the quarterback with more upside. You know why? Because Kirby Smart believes my team is more talented than the other team, and we're so good, if we can just get a quarterback that's not going to give the game away,
we'll be fine.
We're going to be fine and win championships.
Better than fine. Yeah, we're going to win championship. Exactly.
And he did it twice.
Damn near 3 times, but they shut him out.
So, Left, that's what a defensive-minded coach does. Could Marcus Freeman be saying, which goes along with what you said, Left, like, don't worry about CJ. He's going to play. Could Marcus Freeman be saying, these first 2 games, I don't need somebody that's going to put the ball in harm's way.
Facts.
Against Miami and Texas A&M.
Could say that, yep.
When the schedule opens up, then I might be willing to take a shot
because now
with the higher upside guy.
Because now I need to see what the playoffs picture is looking like. I need to see who can be battle tested, which is why I don't have a problem with both playing during the season. Because guess what? We're better than the most of the teams we're playing in the regular season. Let's just be honest. Now, can we lose? Obviously, we lost to NIU last year. But 9 times out of 10, you can go into that game thinking Notre Dame can handle this if they just do what they're supposed to do. And that's not something that can be said for 95% of college football. Think about it. Vegas is saying we're going undefeated. And this is Vegas. Vegas ain't never been in favor of Notre Dame. So everybody knows we are capable of playing everybody on the roster if we want to in the right way. So this is more of a, in my opinion, a retention problem for Marcus Freeman than it is desperately trying to find the next quarterback. Can he retain those guys during the whole season? That's the issue.
And Jacob Watson, thanks for tapping in. Everybody, chat is always on fire tonight. On fire. Jacob Watson left. Then you have to ask, you want a guy to take longer to read the D or take the sack too?
We're running the ball, guys.
Wait. I'm confused because specify which one is going to take the sack.
Yeah.
Because if you're saying that one guy reads the defenses, then the other guy, which has been said, is a quick read and take off guy. So he's not going to take sacks. He's literally going to make plays with his legs when he doesn't see it. We know. Marcus Freeman, as this goes into my point, Marcus Freeman doesn't care how well you read defenses. If you make the bad decision, turn it over.
Yeah,
You can read defense and turn the ball over.
that's right.
Or not be as good as reading defenses, but you don't turn the ball over. And a defensive-minded coach is always going to prefer, Nick Saban always preferred quarterbacks that didn't turn the ball over. Tua did not turn the ball over. He was an efficient quarterback. He didn't have a big arm. He didn't have the upside and talent of Jalen Hurts. But what he did do was be efficient and protect the ball. And put more points on the board. And Nick Saban said, okay. Defensive-minded coaches will always go and lean towards eyes with less upside that don't make critical mistakes. So look, bro, that's why I say if people believe Kenny is the safe choice, then if I'll go a step further. If I were Kenny in this quarterback race, and I knew I had a head coach who did not want mistakes and turnovers, what do you think I wouldn't do in this competition, Left? I wouldn't turn the ball over.
That's right.
You can have all the wild plays all you want to. One thing I'm going to be consistent at with this head coach is not turning the ball over. And that is going to appease him and how he wants to play football and how he wants to win football games. Because the truth of the matter is, this is something else, a little tidbit. This is my interpretation, no one else. When you say no one has shown or had that moment to say, I am the guy, you know what that means, Left? Both guys have areas that they need to clean up, and neither one of them have cleaned them up to the point they need to clean them up.
Thanks. They both showed errors in different ways or something.
Yes.
Which
And they're probably waiting for either one to show that they have gotten over that on a consistent basis.
I agree with that.
Whatever it is, somebody has to improve and show I am the guy.
That's right.
And when the head coach says, I haven't seen that moment.
You're absolutely right. And I think that's exactly why, as a defensive coach, now offensive coach, I just think it would be different decisions and what it would be based on. But from a pure, this is a defensive head coach who's trying to make the best decision. He's like, man, who ball over? Guess what? He's probably thinking, when in doubt, if both of them bomb out, we got a good defense.
Mm-hmm.
Stay in games.
Yes.
If we can stay in games and we just don't turn it over, we'll win most of the games. Because guess what, guys? Regardless of who's starting, they're going to be turning around, handing the ball off. So what are we really talking about? 30% of the game?
Mm-hmm.
Which matters. But then DENBROCK's going to throw in some easy passes, some boots, some RPOs, some screens. So what are we really talking about? 10% of the game? I'm not worried about 10% of the game in the regular season. I'm not. DENBROCK's smart enough to know I'm not going to put this quarterback out here trying to be Tom Brady when I have ample amount of talent around him where I can call basic things to warm my guy up, get him comfortable, and by the time playoff comes, we can open that thing up a little bit more. That's all we're talking about.
Yeah. And for me, Left, it just becomes yeah, I want to get to DENBROCK, Chris Ash, especially Chris Ash, because he has some very interesting things to say. But I'm just going to end it like this, man. We got to stop using words. Stop stereotyping people, man.
Facts.
Stop acting like Kenny Minchie is Drew Pine. How is he a safe choice? The guy he's in the competition with hasn't beaten him. He hasn't beaten him. Last I checked, Kenny is the incumbent in this situation. He's the incumbent.
And
he's the one.
When did it change?
He's the one that has been in front on the depth chart. He was in front on the depth chart.
When did it change, SD? That's the question.
No. Nothing changed, Left. This is why I go back to when Kenny was talking to the media, and I don't think he was slighting anybody. But Kenny was like, yeah, this competition or whatever.
Or whatever. Yeah, because he's like, when did it become something I'm not?
Kenny Minchie has a right. He is a talented quarterback, 4-star quarterback, Elite 11 performing quarterback that came to Notre Dame and was in front on the depth chart. He has every right to feel like, how in the world y'all just talking about this dude and just handing him the job like I don't exist? That's what the majority of media and Notre Dame fans did. That's what the majority of them did. Like he never existed.
Like he never existed.
Like he doesn't even exist.
Like he got there at the same time as CJ.
He doesn't even exist. And now it's like, oh, now it's a quarterback battle. It's close. Oh, Marcus Freeman must be making the safe choice in Kenny. Huh?
And it's even crazier because Marcus Freeman has never had qualifications on his starting quarterback until this year. He's never said the last 2-3 years, we're going to let the quarterbacks decide. What are you talking about?
And it's okay. Guess what?
Okay.
If Marcus Freeman has it in his mind, I want CJ to beat him.
That's fine.
I know his arm is a little bit better. I know he might process a little bit different. But I want to see you earn it. I'm not about to give it to you. Earn it. And if he hasn't earned it to this point, he doesn't deserve to start.
He doesn't deserve to start.
And all respect to Marcus Freeman, making him earn it. No, you don't just get this job, the best job in all of college football. You don't just get it handed to you.
Nope.
You got to come take this. Come take it. And Marcus Freeman obviously is saying he hasn't taken it to this point.
Fair.
Even if everybody in that building wants CJ to take it and feels like at some point CJ is going to take it, according to the head coach, he has not done it.
Facts.
To this point.
Yeah.
So is CJ the safe choice? Or is Kenny the safe choice? Or has CJ not reached and met expectations? Because the expectation was he would take over. That was the expectation.
Yeah.
Was it not, Left? That was the expectation.
He's walking into an open spot.
So I have absolute no problem with Marcus Freeman. In my opinion, what he said, he wants it to be earned. Earn it. Show me you're the guy, because I haven't seen it yet. Show me you're definitively better, because I haven't seen it yet. Prove it. And here's a news flash. A defensive-minded coach does not like turnovers.
Nope.
Lucky Lefty podcast. It's not that hard.
Lucky Lefty podcast. That's right.
It's not that hard. A defensive-minded coach does not like his quarterback turning the ball over. He doesn't. So to me, Left, it goes back to what needs to be cleaned up by both guys. Something has to be cleaned up by both guys. Something has to be cleaned up by both guys. That's just the way it is.
And it's great because the challenge is not against an easy opponent. Our defense is going to make it tough. It's a great trial by fire.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Lefty Podcast. Go to FanDuel, FanDuel.com, the FanDuel app. 3,100. Like you said, Left, CJ Carr has odds to win the Heisman over at FanDuel, sitting right at 3,100. Go ahead and grab it. But I can tell you now, if CJ Carr is the starter, he's going to be the Heisman favorite next year. I can tell you that right now.
Yes, if he ain't started now and got Heisman odds,
you already know, Left. His odds next year are going to be minuscule. Might not be great value because he's going to be leading the pack. Mike DENBROCK. He was actually asked, Left. DENBROCK is great, man. He knows how to control the room, great sense of humor. If you hadn't had a chance to watch his interaction with the media on Sunday, go and check it out on YouTube. He's fantastic, man. That dude, he could be a great stand-up comedian, in my opinion.
that's right.
Because he knows how to control the room, and he has good comedic timing, knows how to react to everybody. I don't think it would pay as much as his current job, but I think he would be good. He was asked. Yeah. All right, would you ever consider, Coach, a rotating quarterback situation during the season? This is what he had to say.
I mean, I think more than anything, I think we want to have some continuity to what we're doing. We want to have some consistency to what we're doing. I think there's strengths and weaknesses of both the players that are in competition together. We'll play those and make sure that we are designing a plan to attack defenses that take advantage of those strengths and the people that they have around them. So more continuity and consistency with our approach as a staff and the approach of the offensive unit overall.
What would you say your observations have been of each quarterback throughout this competition?
Just that they're both good enough to help us win football games, and that's why it's such a close competition. I guess I would add to that both of those young men have tremendous love and respect within the framework of our locker room. So we're not as freaked out about the fact that somebody hasn't been named the starting quarterback as a lot of people seem to be, but it's because we know both individuals involved. We know how their teammates feel about them, care about them, trust them, and they both played really well. So we're going to figure this thing out and get the information out there when Coach Freeman decides it's time for that to make it out.
So I'm gonna let Left rock on that one, but man, look. Give me wisdom. Look, man, just because somebody doesn't say what you want to hear, don't try to spin the words that we say on this show.
That's right.
What we're not going to do is throw out clickbait. What we're going to do is be very honest about the things that are said, what could be possibly meant by those things, and the truth. Not the narrative, the truth. The truth. You would never hear us say anything or stereotype CJ. Nobody's ever stereotyped CJ.
No.
But when you call Kenny Minchie a safe choice, you're stereotyping him. And you're doing it with minimal data. And you're doing it based upon what other people say.
Facts.
This is why I said I don't have any. What can I add? I haven't seen anything, bro. If anybody else acting like they've seen but they haven't. Everybody's tapped into sources. This source said this. This source said that. And it would be okay if all the sources had continuity in what they were saying. Just take a look at this weekend or the last 3 to 4 days. There is no continuity in what's being said about these young men. Nothing. Somebody in the chat said one quarterback makes plays. Kenny made 2 big plays in Sundays. 2 big pass plays in scrimmage. 2. Where's this narrative that he doesn't make big plays? It's funny. You pointed out, Left. What did you call? You talked about the spring game. And you talked about CJ. You said, yeah, he made 2 good passes, but the majority of his completions were checkdowns. But it's just funny. It's just funny how people interpret information and then spin it. And then you want to typecast, and this is both sides. This is just not about Kenny. You want to typecast CJ.
Yeah.
You want to call him a gunslinger. You want to just put all types of titles on who he is. And it's like, man, what are we doing? We're making assumptions. We're coming to conclusions. And none of us have any proof. Nothing valid. Nothing. It's just really amazing, man, that we've gotten to this point. If there is a safe choice, he is the starting quarterback for the Syracuse Orange. That is the safe choice in this quarterback situation. He is nowhere near as talented physically as either one of these youngsters. He was the safe choice, and Marcus Freeman said goodbye to the safe choice. So stop it. Stop applying safe choice and gunslinger and all of these monikers that have not been earned, because you're saying it and regurgitating it based upon what others have said, and those others are getting it from sources because they haven't seen anything. And what they have seen is minimal. I'm honest enough to tell you that. No one knows. That's why everything that's coming out contradicts. All of the sources are contradicting one another. Kenny's the man. It's been announced that CJ is the guy. The team knows that CJ is the guy. CJ makes the big plays. Kenny's careful with the ball. Doesn't take chances. Come on, man. Based upon what? Based upon the words of other people.
That's right.
And the truth of the matter is, other people, as my mentor told me this a long time ago, bro, anytime, he always told me this as a producer, he said, always think twice about what you release to the public from a source inside any locker room or organization. Because when they release that information to you, they have a motive for why they want you to know that.
Interesting.
They're not just saying that because, oh man, you're my guy, I love you so much. No, when you're part of the media and people inside the organization or the locker room say something to you, they want it to get out for a reason. For a reason. And you have to be careful how you disseminate that and how you release that. And everyone in Notre Dame media, I'll repeat this, have been put at a disadvantage because it's their job to cover the team and talk about the team. And one of the most important quarterback or competition battles in the last decade at Notre Dame has been under lock and key for the most part. And so what else can we say? And what else can the Notre Dame media depend on but sources? Some, I would say, have sources that are, in my opinion, are more than reliable, and probably more reliable than some other people that are citing sources. But no one else thinks it's strange that in the last 3 to 4 days that we've heard good things and bad things about both quarterbacks from sources connected to the team. That's weird. That's weird. That's weird. 1 minute on 3 reports, Kenny's in the lead. Or no, they report it's 50-50. Days later, Kenny's in the lead. The next day, CJ is this. Back. The team has been told CJ is the quarterback. It's crazy, fans.
You
That's
think
what I'm
there's,
saying.
do you think there's any benefit to doing that?
Man, I don't. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to stay away from the fray, bro. I'm trying to stay away from the fray because right about now, it's bonkers out here, bro. It's flat out bonkers out here. It's bonkers. It's bonkers. People want to know. Everybody, Notre Dame fans are probably looking around college football like, Ohio State named their quarterback.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That'd be the problem.
Steve Angeli was involved in a 50-50 battle last week. Syracuse named their quarterback. Notre Dame fans are just sitting here like, what's the issue? It's like, and I understand it. I understand the plight of the fans. I understand the plight and the job that the media has to do. You know, and they have to go dig and find nuggets and things to report. You know? But here's the danger to that, bro. When you go find nuggets, it's a nugget. It's the tip of the iceberg. And you can't see what is underneath. That's the problem. And so now you have people taking nuggets, going and running with it, and they have no clue what's beneath the surface. What's really beneath the surface? And it's unfortunate, man. It's unfortunate. So yeah, man. I just choose to listen to Marcus Freeman. I gave my thoughts. Mike DENBROCK said he's not freaked out. He shouldn't be freaked out. Mike DENBROCK has his actual playbook this year.
Yeah, he's
not freaked out. Like you said, Mike DENBROCK is like, all right, I can rock with either one of these.
He said in the spring, he was excited about what was going on. In the spring, he was saying that we're reaching new heights and doing new things with the guys that we have. He you know,
man.
He said the playbook is open. We don't even seen clips of Jeremiah Love first couple spring practices being split out. Like, we're throwing that ball this year.
Right. You're hearing the running backs said they were begging to be on the field at the same time last year. But if they had done it last year, they would have had 3 running backs in the backfield. Wait a minute. That was petty. Let me stop. That was petty.
They did. Yeah. 180 carries. 180 carries. That's petty.
Let me stop. Mike DENBROCK, what's your favorite thing about this offense? What's your favorite thing about this offense, Coach?
I really like our depth. I mean, I like our depth at running back. I like our depth at wide receiver. I like our depth up front. I think those are the things that I think will serve us well. Certainly, if we get into some scenarios the way we did a year ago, where we've got some bumps and bruises and some guys out as we go. I think we're deeper than we've been at a number of different positions, and that's exciting because that gives, the offensive coordinator a lot more toys to play with.
The stability you have on the offensive line with so many returners coming back from last season, how has that informed this camp so far?
Yeah, I mean, it's been really good, even though there's been some rotating in and rotating out at different positions. And Coach Rudolph does an amazing job with the offensive line and putting those guys and moving guys around just in case, type of situations occur. But those guys have all been trained, a lot of guys inside, some guys outside, but they've gotten a good variety of working positions, and then on top of that, 4 in particular that are returning, working together consistently, I think is led to really good development there.
Good stuff. Good stuff, especially with the evolution of the offensive line, of the battle going on at right guard. You literally, at certain points in the season, just highlight the depth. Matty Augustine's name was hot at right guard. Then all of a sudden, Sullivan Absher was hot at the beginning of camp with the injury to Charles Jagasaw. And now Gerby Lambert's name is hot. And so that right there, in my opinion, I would much rather hear about a bunch of guys putting in work at a certain position than to hear like, man, this one guy is dominating. And other guys are kind of like, no. When I hear that there's elite play from 3 young men battling for one position, man, heck yeah. Man, this goes back to what he said, Left. This is why he's not worried about the quarterback. He's not worried about the quarterback because that O-line is good. Running backs. Mind you, the running backs unfortunately lost Keydron Young, a young man that everybody was salivating to see on the field this year, getting more opportunity. Up steps Nolan James, who literally has been buzzing, who I heard Jawan Sider say in a drill when he made a mistake, we finally found something you can't do. That's what's waiting as your 4th string running back. And he's going to get an opportunity because he's just that good. You talk about Will Pauling being a captain and how, man, that's coming in as a transfer, as a wide receiver, a room that does not necessarily get captaincy or receive captaincy. And to come in as a transfer and impress that much, yo, that's huge. That's huge. So when Mike DENBROCK talks about this depth, ladies and gentlemen, man,
It's real.
I see why he's chill on the quarterback, because he's like, man, look here, man, we got so much talent. We're going to make it easy for these guys, or easier. Not easy, because the quarterback position is not easy. But yeah, we're about to make it much easier on these guys. That's what's about to happen this year. You got to love it, man. Super chat. The Eater, ND08. Nobody knows, and we content consumers try to talk out the uncertainty by trying to define the unknown and gain logical understanding through our own eyes. We're men, we're programmed to fix stuff.
That's deep.
That's deep. Isn't that called interpolarization? When you try to make assumptions with minimal facts or between certain facts.
I like that interpolarization. How you say it?
I think I said it right. Interpolarization.
Interpolarization.
Yeah, interpolarization. Yeah. Look it up. check Webster's, but I do believe that's he was kind of speaking of like, yo, like that's true. We don't have anything. We try to talk things out, and we try to talk things out with you guys. Man, we're trying to talk it out as much as we can, but in talking it out, I'm not going to go so far to the left or to the right in either direction about either one of the young men in the quarterback competition. I'm just not about the typecast. I'm not, because both young men, given the opportunity, are going to get better at their weaknesses.
They are.
They're going to get better at their weaknesses.
It's only going to come through their experience. And even in this competition, is giving them the things and the tools they can use when they get out there. The only problem I have is when you get into a position where you're in the game and you have to handle the emotions of guys that's never been out there, you never being out there. This is not a practice script. This is live bullets. That connection and confidence that they're building through this quarterback competition is what's important for them to be able to function at a high level. So being elite is where this is happening. You know, as much as we think they're as compatible and evenly skilled, this is the growing and maturation process for whoever runs out there to really take hold of it. And that's what Marcus Freeman is looking for. Who's going to be that guy that makes that turn? And we're going to find out in that first game.
Yeah. I'm excited, man. Like anxiety, I'm with Coach DENBROCK. I don't have anxiety about the situation.
No anxiety about the situation.
We're about to roll in and beat the crap out of Miami. That's how I'm feeling right now. I don't care. Matter of fact, start Tyler. Start Buckner. I'm still going to feel like we're going to smack these dudes.
Whoa.
I do. Hey, that's just how I feel about this football team. Yeah. It might not be as pretty, but I think they still would smack them.
Hey,
Tyler Buckner got the start.
He's got the most experience in the room, man.
Hey, I'm just saying, bro. What's the advantage, Coach? What's the advantage for your receivers and your quarterbacks going up against a top 5 defense and pass defense efficiency for 2 straight seasons? How does that benefit you guys? Coach DENBROCK said this.
Have to look at it as a positive, right? I mean, we're blessed that we get that type of competition on a day in and day out basis against a defense that, is complex in their coverage schemes, can lock you down when they decide to play man, can do about anything they need to do from a coverage standpoint. So I think that exposes our guys to understanding the level of competitiveness at the wide receiver position it takes to be really good at what you do. And, we're fortunate to be in that scenario, and I think it helps young guys grow up faster. And, I'm comfortable with a wide receiver. We need some more consistency across the board, but I would include the receivers in that.
I think it was Christian Gray who said, man, I'm more confident, but MALIK Fields is a handful. And Jordan Faison is a downright technician. That's his route running, how quick he gets in and out of breaks, how quick he is with the ball in his hand. Look, man, iron sharpens iron. I know everybody has heard that in some form or fashion. Right. It's the same here. It's absolutely the same here. And so when you hear Coach DENBROCK talk about this offense, you have to realize.
I just think it's just super exciting to see a guy that's excited about what he's got in front of him. And this is a different tone that we're facing from last year, where it was more of we're trying to get this continuity going, and we need that to be prominent, as opposed to now where he's like, man, listen, they just better show up on the first game in Hard Rock Stadium because I got something for them. And the benefit is it don't matter who it is out there. That's a dangerous position to be in and an exciting position when you're considering a team that offensively needs to take the next step. That's the difference between this year and last year is can the offense take the next step?
Let's see. Ed Peckles. Thank you, man. Ed said, I like the avatar. That's dope. If you want to play some golf in Orlando, I have you covered. Well, Ed, right now, currently, I am at the Shingle Creek. Golf Resort, and I have an early tee time tomorrow.
Early tee time?
Yeah, I'm at the crack of dawn. I'm up, Left. I'm up because I have meetings starting at 11 o'clock for the majority of the day. So this is really the only day I have to get it in before the conference starts building up and becoming more intense.
Are you
Wednesday,
working on your
Thursday,
putt
Friday.
game, or what are you working on?
I got to work on everything, bro. I need work on everything. I have to be more consistent. I guess I'm like the quarterbacks in this competition. I need to show that I've taken a step forward in my game. Definitive show that I've taken a step forward in my game this last month and a half of this season for me in Chicago. Because once late October hits, that's probably it. GTB question from my guy, Indy Milton fan. What's up to you and the family? Milton, any freshman or sophomore you thought could have been a captain? Freshman or sophomore? Outside shot, Leonard Moore. Outside shot.
Aeneas, sophomore?
Yeah. Yes. The way Jawan Sider spoke about Aeneas Williams, yes. Being that old soul, yes. And he talked about him being a leader in that running back room. Yes, that's a good call, Left. That's a good call. I think that's the best. That's the best. That's a good call, Left. Real good call. Sweet Lou, Monaco, fellas, is this announced before Sunday? Left, Sunday would be a week before the game. You would think that some decision would have to come before Sunday, right? I don't know if it's announced, when it will be announced, but a decision would definitely have to have came. Or, yeah. A decision would have had to, in my opinion, would have to be reached. Would definitely have to be reached. Yeah. So that's Mike DENBROCK. Let's talk about Chris Ash, Left. And he met with the media. He had some interesting things to say as well. And he talked about his freshman DBs, Left. His freshman DBs are making noise in camp.
Okay.
But, does that shock us? It's Mike Nickens. This is what Chris Ash had to say.
Really gotten better. They've improved. They improve every single day. They don't say a whole lot. They just show up and they go to work. They're kind of overshadowed by the older players, but when they get their opportunities, they make the most of them. And I can just say they've improved every day through their work ethic. They've studied. They know what they're doing. They don't make many mistakes anymore like they did when we first started. And it's been really impressive to watch those young players really understand what the standard is here and how committed you have to be to get your opportunities, and they're taking advantage of it.
And Coach Freeman just said the chance for those guys get time. You're talking a lot on the offense about wanting consistently one guy at one position, whereas on the defense, it seems like you can get a lot of bodies out there during the course of a game. Why is it important to have that much depth and really get a bunch of different looks out there?
Well, depth is always great. This is probably some of the most depth I've ever had on a team that I've been associated with on defense. But the depth is important. You know, we're going to go open up the season in Miami. It's going to be hot and muggy down there in the depth to our advantage. And through the course of the season, injuries are going to happen. This is a physical game, and injuries are going to come up. And you're only going to be as good as the depth that you have. And I think we have really good depth. But we tell the guys all the time, we want to play as many guys as we can play, but you have to earn that opportunity. And these guys are earning it.
See, that's consistent. And I think that's consistent with the quarterback competition. You got to earn it.
You got
to earn this.
It's about earning it. And that's fine. It's about earning it. But at the same time, do the coaches have the acumen to put the best players in the right, the right fit, right? Like, what are the right combinations of the safeties and the DBs? What are the right combinations between quarterback and running back and that sort of thing? Because that chemistry is what the coaches can define and master. And I think we had that last year. And with a new defensive coordinator, it's going to be a little different.
Chris Ash, he referenced that depth with another team that won a national championship. This is what he had to say.
To be honest with you, the only place it probably would be comparable was when I went to Ohio State in 2014. You know, there were good players there, very similar to this situation here. You know, people could say a lot of things about me. I'm not dumb. If I was going to take this job, it was because we had some pretty good players, and we do.
What about this group has maybe impressed you through your first 6-7 months here that you didn't know already on paper and through film?
One of the things you find out about these guys that paper doesn't tell the story. It's how connected they are. This is a really tight-knit group of players. They're competing every single day. People, all of them want to start. They play, but they understand only 11 guys can go out there for the first snap. But they're all competing every single day, and they really are about the team, and that's really what's impressive. And you know, that connection has really made these guys ultra committed too. They spend a lot of time studying the game. They spend a lot of time with each other in the film room without coaches, and it's really been impressive to watch.
Let me tell you something. That 2014 squad put 31 individuals into the NFL. 17 on offense, 14 on defense. So when he says that his defense in the depth reminds him the only thing that's been comparable in his career that he's coached is that 2014 defense at Ohio State, I'm just giving you some numbers.
Just some numbers.
Just some numbers. 31 total players off that team made it to the NFL, went to the NFL. 14 defensively that he coached. And that's saying a lot. That's saying a lot. And for the most part, this is not like a senior-laden defense. This is a young defense, bro. It's a young defense. And for me, I think that says a lot about how he feels.
I'm telling you, a lot of that comes being bigger. I mean, we're a bigger team. You see 6'5" safeties and 6'2" corners and giant D tackles. I mean, this is the thing that Marcus Freeman wanted to buff up. Because in reality, recruiting was in a very solid place under Brian Kelly. Was it spectacular? It has its moments, but Marcus Freeman is knocking it out of the park from adding another size to what he was already recruiting.
And you couldn't have said it any better. Lucky Lefty Podcast. One more thing. The star defensively. And then we'll get to the polls and let you guys go. Thank you for tapping in with us tonight. It's been a great show. Great show. Appreciate you guys, man. The chat is amazing. Great game. Incredible depth to the conversations that we've been having. Continue to tap in with us. Subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify, Bleav Network, and then FanDuel.com. Don't forget FanDuel app. Notre Dame right now, second best odds, only behind Ohio State at plus 420 to go undefeated at the regular season. That's over at FanDuel, FanDuel.com, and the FanDuel app. The star for 3 straight summers. But now it might be real. and might produce a bust-out season from one individual that I think every Notre Dame fan, for different reasons, might be pulling for. Chris Ash, talking about Jason Onye.
First got here, I met with every defensive player individually, and I didn't know Jason's story. I didn't know the history of Jason and what he's gone through, and he me. And right away, I was really impressed that he was willing to open up and tell me what he's gone through to get back to where he's at right now. And starting last spring, he was a completely different kid, and he showed up with a positive attitude, really just willing to work every single day. He's willing to be coached every single day. He takes coaching and applies it the next series or the next day, whenever he's getting it. And he just shows up with a competitive spirit, trying to be the best that he can be. He's big, he's strong, he's physical. He's learning to play like that. He's not fast and really quick and fancy, but man, he's violent, and he's doing a great job with his hands and getting great knockback there in the run game. And he's understanding how to rush the passer with his ability. And I just like some of the other, where he was at when I first got here to where he's at is really an impressive transformation.
Yeah. Look.
Yeah, that's some of the stuff you just love to hear, just the character building over time and the talent developing. And I think that Chris Ash being able to even have those individual meetings where he can evaluate each player that he's taken on in a process where they're already going. This isn't something he's been there from the beginning. He's seeing guys mature as they're maturing. And that's a great way to connect going into something where when the bullets start flying, you have a somewhat of a personal relationship, but also you kind of know their strengths and weaknesses, and to be able to add to that with value is the reason why Chris Ash is a great transitional piece that will become what we love as a defense coordinator overall.
And so that was Chris Ash. We're going to hear more from Marcus Freeman, Mike DENBROCK, and Chris Ash because they said so much. We wanted to focus on those clips on tonight's show. You guys have been fantastic. And part of LL Nation really showing support is our poll questions. You can go get the poll questions or tap in over on our YouTube page. We put them at least one up once a week. And for us, the poll questions really give us of a peek into what you guys think about some of the bigger topics. Poll question last year. This is amazing, Left. Last year, I just want to go over a couple from last year. Before the season, we asked, will the starting left tackle position be a main factor in Notre Dame beating Texas A&M? 69% of Notre Dame fans said no. That just shows the confidence. Despite having a redshirt freshman, a true freshman on the left side, headed down to College Station, Notre Dame fans said, nope, it won't factor in to us winning. That's dope. We asked before the season last year, in Marcus Freeman's third season, fans, what are your expectations for Marcus Freeman in his third season? 50% of the fans said he had to reach the college football playoff semifinals. Well, he did it. That's exactly what he did, and he took it a step further, and he went to the national championship game. 14% of the fans said that's where he had to get to, and he met those expectations. So Notre Dame fans are really smart, man. Really smart. Really smart. Best fan base in the world. Best fan base in the world. One of the questions from last week, after you heard that the quarterback competition was still very much a competition, do you still feel confident about the eventual outcome of that competition? 66% of the fans said they were still confident. 20% of the fans said they were just going to wait until August 1st. So despite, narratives being all over the place and information coming from all sources, man, the program must have leaks everywhere. There must be some leaks everywhere because there's no continuity in what's being said. There's leaks everywhere. All types of things are coming out. But with that being said, you fans are still confident that Notre Dame is going to hang in there and have a very confident and effective quarterback that starts on August 31st. And then we asked the question, will MALIK Fields, as a receiver and a transfer from Virginia, last year Virginia in 2024, he compiled 55 receptions, 808 yards, and 5 touchdowns. Will he eclipse those numbers? Will he eclipse those numbers for Notre Dame this year? 68% of Notre Dame fans said yes. 16% said it would be a close call or close to the same. Either way, I'm going to tell you now, fans, as we get out of it. Either way, MALIK Fields gives us 55 receptions, 800 yards, and 5 touchdowns. And we're not even talking about the numbers that Jordan Faison and Jaden Greathouse and Will Pauling and the rest of the cast can put up with an elite tight end. Because we're going to hear from Mike DENBROCK tomorrow talking about his elite tight end and his tight end group as a whole. Right? And he was actually asked whether or not they might think about switching somebody from another position to play tight end. Very interested to hear that. But Mike DENBROCK is very high on the group, and he's extremely high on Eli Raridon. Extremely high on Eli Raridon. So before we get out of here, I do want everyone to be aware it's a brand new season, and we have restocked our Lucky Lefty store over at LuckyLeftyPod.com. We've restocked it. I just want to share some things that I think are pretty dope. Shout out to Fashion Geek Zoe, and shout out to a couple of other people that helped design some of these wonderful things. As you see right there, we have some beautiful stuff, man. We got our Lucky Lefty script hoodie. It also comes in the t-shirt. It's pretty dope. Comes in different colors. You got the black, navy blue, comes in the green as well. And if you look at the tail says spin it different right in here. It's a dope design. It really is. Comes in that heather gray, that sports gray. I'm sorry, that's that sports gray. So go over to LuckyLeftyPod.com and check it out. We also have Spin It Different hoodie, highlighting Left himself. As you can see it, Spin It Different, with the logo on top of the I, and then with the ND, of course, celebrating Notre Dame. And then who is that? Right above ND, none other than Left himself on the hoodie from his playing days. That's the Spin It Different hoodie. You can also get that in the t-shirt. Super dope. Once again, their trucker hat, the original logo trucker hat, the Misguided Passion t-shirt, one of my favorites. I think I'm going to rock mine on air later this week. The Misguided Passion t-shirt, pretty dope. LuckyLeftyPod.com. Go check it out. Some great stuff, ladies and gents. We have our Freeman era t-shirts and hoodies. Freeman era with Spin It Different in the arc over the end. Gotta love it. And as you can see, you go to the back on most of our apparel, the Lucky Lefty, the new Lucky Lefty logo adorns the top neck area on the rear of our apparel. over at LuckyLeftyPod.com. Let's see. There's one more. There's the Spin It Different t-shirt, Lucky Lefty script shirt. We have the Spin It trucker cap, the other version of the trucker cap in white. The original logo t-shirt, the retro logo t-shirt, the new logo t-shirt, in all different colors. Then we have the screen poppers with Ragib Rocket Ismail. The screen popper t-shirt, super dope. I had we did the defensive version last year with Manti Te'o. This year, look at that, Rocket. Got the LL logo on the sleeve. Got it in white, gold, sports gray. Be a great addition for you this season to rock out. We have our Irish t-shirt there, you can see. The ND t-shirt. Super dope. But then we have the embroidered sweaters. Right here. We have two versions. We have the 3D version that's lifted a little bit. This is the flat version. That's embroidered right there. Center chest. Super dope. And then we have the elevated embroidery. Same. That's the elevated 3D version. Super dope. You can get that. And last but not least, our the championship trophy. This is the Freeman era trophy short sleeve shirt with the championship trophy saying Freeman era with the Lucky Lefty logo. Right. So, man, help us out, support us, good deals. We're going to be putting up a special dropping on Wednesday. I think the special starts Wednesday. You're going to get 10% off. 10% off starting Wednesday. And we'll make sure we give you the code. The code is going to be Lucky. Code Lucky, 10% off over at LuckyLeftyPod.com. Or you can just go order right now, man. TE University would be dope. Tight End University would be dope. Tight End University with like the old school tight end. I like that as a screen popper. Yeah. Sweet Lou, thank you. I'm going to try to fit in the short grass tomorrow. For sure. Short grass to short grass. No grainy brown stuff. Nah. Hopefully I can break. If I can shoot in the 90s tomorrow, I'm going to be happy. If I can shoot in the 90s tomorrow, I'm going to be happy. So, man, go support us and support us on YouTube. Subscribe, share, hit the like button. And then Twitter, X, TikTok, Instagram. Follow us at Lucky Lefty Pod. Bleav audio podcast. Man, go lock in with us. This will be up tomorrow. And then we space it out. We chop it up. We'll probably drop 2 episodes tomorrow, another 2 episodes off this show the next day, so on and so forth. I'm down here at conference, but I promise you we're going to make time to rock with you this week. We'll hear more from Marcus Freeman tomorrow, more from Chris Ash, more from Mike DENBROCK, and we'll hear from Mike Mickens and his DBs as well tomorrow. And hopefully, ladies and gentlemen, we'll have some type of answer within the next 48 hours about starting quarterback. Because like Left said, it's time. Yeah, it's time. And Marcus Freeman agreed. He said, man, we have to make a decision. We truly appreciate you guys. You guys have been a blessing to us. You continue to rock with us. You can just continue to support us and allow us to grow. We'll see you tomorrow with another rendition of the Lucky Lefty podcast. Continue to be blessed. Continue to love each other, man. Continue to appreciate every moment you have with your family and your loved ones and your friends. Don't take it for granted. But most of all, make sure you continue to spin it different. We'll see you tomorrow.
Peace.